Hi guys, Alice Taylor here, and today we're going to talk about the role of the trail leg during your golf swing, and particularly in the backswing. So really I'm talking about this because there's been a lot of talk in golf circles and social media about one particular player and whether a lot of the experts out there feel it's affecting him. The golfer concerned is Jordan Spieth, who, fantastic player, really knows how to get a job done, but potentially for him, maybe some of his tee to green ball striking isn't up to the standard of your Jason Day and your Rory McIlroys of this world. Having said that, most guys' ball striking isn't up to that level, and it is about getting the ball in the hole in the fewest number of shots. But the big deal that's being made at the moment, and I would stress, Jordan Spieth has just won an event, I think his second event back from the Masters, so we'll see whether it's such a big issue. Now, what a lot of the guys are talking about is that at address, most golfers will have a decent amount of knee flex here, and as they swing into the top of the backswing, it's that position of the right leg. Now, most coaches will say that they would love to see a little bit of flex maintained in there, but what we see with Jordan is that leg straightens quite a bit in the backswing. Now, I think possibly for him there may be a slight lack of stability during his swing when that happens, but I think for any of you guys watching out there, you need to understand if that happens with you, why that leg straightens, and more importantly, why it might need to straighten in your golf swing. So, as I said, in that picture from down the line, we see in the backswing, for a lot of players, that leg straightens a little bit. For some players, it almost gets stiff there though, and I think when you look face on, that can create a few little issues. So from that position, if the leg gets too straight, the weight can shift into the front side and we can get a reverse pivot. So for a lot of golfers then, they'll fall back as they hit the shot. The bottom of the swing will be in a different place and it'll really affect the quality of shot. Now, I don't see this with Jordan Spieth personally. I think for your club players, what you need to be aware is in your backswing, two of the things that are really important is your shoulders need to be able to turn, but also your hips need to turn as well. Now, for me, the ability to separate what your upper and lower body does impacts massively on how much this leg is going to straighten. A lot of guys I see, not particularly flexible, and certainly when they turn their upper body, their lower body moves at the same time. So quite quickly in the swing, that leg will get straight, and we can cause some issues from there. Now, I think when you look at your Jordan Spieth and your top end guys, flexibility isn't an issue. That's something they're working hard on. So as they turn, majority of the guys, the upper body can move quite a long way before that lower body does. Then the lower body starts to turn, and what we'll see with most tour players is very little hip turn in the backswing relative to how the shoulders have turned. Now, if your hips don't move a massive amount, I think it's quite easy to maintain some flex in that right leg. I think there's an element of straightening, and I think dependent on how much the hips turn will depend on how much that moves. So if you're a club golfer who feels that that right leg, trail leg, straightens badly in your backswing, actually a good thing for you would actually be to be a little bit shorter in your backswing. We're not looking at making necessarily a 90-degree shoulder turn or a 110-degree shoulder turn like we see some of the tour players. We need to be able to do something with our body that we can repeat. So for a lot of guys, a shorter backswing, a much less shoulder turn, therefore less hip turn, will allow them to be a little bit more stable with the lower body. That's going to make it easier for you to return the club back to that point. Try that if you struggle with your ball striking and you feel that there's not a lot of stability with the lower body and that trail leg straightens. Now, getting back to the start of the video though, is it an issue for Jordan Spieth? I don't don't think it is, because I think when he wins events and plays well, his trail leg, from what I see, seems to do the exact same as it does when he plays fantastically well. This is something that he's very, very consistent with. I think when the guys are analysing on TV, sometimes they have to have something to talk about. And I would say that when Jordan plays well, they're happy to ignore that. When Jordan struggles with that, that's something they'll pick on, because there's a few little different movements with Jordan's swing, but he is very, very consistent. I personally would say with Jordan that he's probably working a little bit more on trying to get the ball a little bit further off the tee so he can keep up with some of the guys, and therefore he's just losing a little bit of awareness as to what's happening during impact. Having said that, he is a phenomenal player, and if you look at the top 10 guys in the world, majority of them have all got maybe something in the golf swing that you could potentially pick fault with according to the textbooks. But any of you that watch my videos, it's not about being textbook. It's about finding something that works for the individual and being very, very good at doing that. So, if you want to model yourself on Jordan Spieth for the swing, I'd have no issue with that. But you need to understand what your body can and can't do. So if you are a golfer who, as you swing back, straightens and swings down, for me that's a flexibility issue, and you're maybe trying to swing in a way your body's going to struggle to be consistent. If that's the case, then try hitting what would feel like some half shots for you. Almost just feel that you're getting the club there. I'm sure it'll be further back than that, but by being short and swinging through, I think straight away you'll find a more consistent contact. I think you'll actually find that you'll get a more consistent distance and probably a little bit more power, because you're going to start using your body effectively. So guys, what should the trail leg do in the golf swing, and particularly in the backswing? Should it straighten? I think an element of straightening is fine. I think if the leg gets stiff and locked, I think that is an issue, and that is something you would need to work on. So like I said guys, if you can get yourself there, work on a length backswing that you feel is consistent, and be able to repeat that, that's going to give you the kind of golf shots you're looking for. So guys, really, really appreciate you taking the time to watch my videos. Hope you've enjoyed it. If Jordan gets to watch it, don't worry about the trail leg. I'm sure he won't be, but if he does, don't worry about it. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please leave comments below. Let me know if you've tried what we've talked about. Has it helped your game? Subscribe to the channel if you don't already. I will try and get back to any of you guys who do comment, make any comments on the video. Hopefully catch up with some of you guys down here in the future. Stay in contact.